There are all sorts of reasons why independent visiting services are so important for children in care, and you'll hear a lot about those reasons and more during this video. We know it's a statutory duty for local authorities to offer children the opportunity of an independent visitor, and this video will also tell you more about the legal context. But as inspectors, we're not interested just because it's a duty, we're interested because having an independent visitor can benefit children in lots of ways.
The National Independent Visitor Network was launched in 2014 to tackle low levels of awareness of this statutory befriending service among children, young people and professionals. The network aims to increase the number of children and young people who have an independent visitor and to enable independent visitor services across England and Wales to work together to raise the quality and consistency of independent visitor provision. In June 2020, we launched the Right Friend campaign to champion every care experienced child's right to an independent visitor and to call for this right to be extended to care leavers. We believe that no child should enter adulthood alone. Independent visitors give the opportunity to these children and young people to experience a positive, consistent and stable relationship with an adult during their care journey.
An IV is a trained volunteer who befriends and advises children and young people in care. Young people in care often describe their IV as a friend, someone they can talk to, someone who can provide emotional support and stability, and someone they can have fun with through recreational activities. Independent visitors need to be consistent and reliable so that children can build trusting, positive relationships with them over time. Often, independent visitors are the only consistent adult in a child's life that doesn't change, unlike placements and social workers.
Hello, my name is Elizabeth Herbert and I'm a Children's Rights and Participation Worker at Birmingham Children's Trust. The role of an independent visitor was first introduced in the Children's Act 1989. The initial concept was that looked after children with little to no contact with their birth families could be matched with a volunteer, known as an independent visitor or IV for short. The role of an IV would be different from that of an independent advocate, giving the child a positive, consistent bond with a trusted adult over a long period of time. Since the role was introduced, the eligibility criteria has expanded to include any case where it's in the child's best interest to have an independent visitor. All local authorities have a duty to consider the appointment of an IV in the case of all children looked after with consent from each child or young person. The appointment of an IV should be considered as part of the development of any care plan for the child or young person, and any decision not to appoint an independent visitor must be kept under review. It's vital that the child is involved in all stages of the process.
The National Independent Visitor Network has developed a set of quality standards, including a best practice toolkit. These standards set out what a good quality IV service should look like. All looked after children understand their right to an independent visitor. Independent visitor services are child-led. They work to a high level of confidentiality. Volunteers undergo a robust recruitment and training process. A relationship of trust is built between the IV and child over time, through regular visits and contact. IV relationships are reviewed to make sure the child is safe, happy and developing a positive relationship with their IV. Services are sufficiently resourced. Services are safe. Independent visitors are volunteers independent of the child's social services department. Services have clear policies to promote equality and diversity of opportunity.
An IV is a person who volunteers their time to you as a friend and an outsider that can give you perspective on situations that you might be having a hard time with. They take you out places and get you away from everything in life just so you can talk.
Having an IV meant having somebody who wasn't employed to talk to me. She was just someone who cared. Having someone who remembered the small things and someone who I could celebrate my achievements with was invaluable. Someone who made me feel normal and took me out to do the normal things. She always remembered my birthday, my favourite foods, and picked up on subtleties about activities I'd like to do. Even now, she's one of the first people I text when I achieve something. She taught me to be proud of myself.
Helen and me have become good friends, and I really enjoyed our outings together. We have done lots of different and fun activities together and have a good laugh too.
To a young person, an adult who can show you a healthy, consistent relationship and someone who will dedicate time to you is invaluable.
An independent visitor is a trusted, trained adult who builds a stable, positive relationship with a child in care over time. The laws say all children and young people in care can have an independent visitor if they want one. We can experience lots of change in our home, school, and social worker. Independent visitors help us feel safe and secure. They give us good advice and experience of a trusting, positive relationship. An independent visitor is there for me alone. They take an interest in my life, hopes and worries. They get to know me, not my history. We go out and build a fun friendship together, where we trust and respect each other. My IV makes me feel like I can be myself. We build good memories together over time. How would I know what a long-lasting, caring relationship looks like unless I had one? In 2007, the government said that all children in care who wants an independent visitor should have one. In fact, just 3.5% of us do. Independent visitors are our legal rights. Are you playing your part to make this a reality?
Independent visitors can help make sure children's views are heard about things that matter in their lives. They can encourage children to do well at school, or simply they can just give them opportunities to do things they enjoy and to have fun. And of course, children can choose whether or not to have an independent visitor, and that's the kind of choice they don't always have within the care system. Perhaps most importantly, it's the lasting relationships between children and their independent visitors that matter, especially valuable for children who are often in real need of continuity and stability in their lives. So, during inspections, if we ask about independent visiting services and their impact, we're likely to see strong evidence of the real benefits that supportive, caring, independent visitors can bring to individual children. But looking at how well professionals promote access to and support independent visiting services can provide valuable evidence too about broader areas of practice. It can tell us something about a local authority's commitment to meeting children's rights and entitlements, It can tell us something about how well professionals empower children to have their views heard. It's likely to tell us something about the extent to which corporate parents are valuing and promoting stable, lasting relationships for children in the widest possible way, relationships beyond professionals, carers or their immediate family. Thanks so much to Rebecca and to Sarah from the National Independent Visitors Network for their fantastic work on this video, and to everyone else who's contributed. I'm sure inspectors will find this video really helpful and highly relevant to their work.